What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the ASAP Afternoon Blitz, Monday, December 5th, 2022. Got a lot to talk about today. A lot happened over the weekend in sports. Joined by Jay McLovin. How's it going, Jay?
Hey, I'm doing well. I am doing well. And as you know, man, a lot of stuff happened over the weekend in terms of college football, NFL, lots of things going on in MLB in terms of signings and big things like that. We still got the winter meetings that haven't even happened yet. They're going to happen. I'm curious to see, a lot of things that are going to come out of those winter meetings in terms of trades and such and whatnot. But, man, what a time to be alive, brother, man. By the way, rest in peace, Colts.
Oh, no, they might. We're live. Oh, my bad. Yeah, the Colts. Tell you what, they played tough the first three quarters. Looked like it was going to be a good ball game, and then after that, they fell apart big time and turned the ball over like 30 times in the fourth quarter. It felt like.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to think of Bland, the cornerback that the Cowboys had brought in from the draft this year. He's been there, but I think Brown and Diggs kind of really overshadowed him quite a bit. And Brown unfortunately went down in that game. We don't know. At first, I thought it might be a sprain or an ankle, whatever. But now the worst possible thing is now they're suspecting a torn Achilles, which God forbid. I really hope that's not what it is. But, the one thing about the world is it's always next man up. And, man, Bland, when that dude stepped up, he stepped up in a big way, had 2 interceptions, really, really, really looked good. And it made me feel better about it because I was, when Brown went down, I was like, crap, there goes like half our secondary in terms of production along with Diggs. But, man, Bland really stepped up. And no offense to the Colts, man, but I think Matt Ryan was just under a lot of pressure, which is mad respect to Parsons and Armstrong and Wilson, the safety, coming in and get. I mean, I felt like like you're right, the beginning of that game, the Cowboys kind of came out stagnant. They kind of came out slow. It just took them a minute to get synced in. But once they got synced in, like you said, right about that, I think it was right before halftime, and then as they came out of halftime, that defense went to a whole new level, and the pressure and intensity that the front seven got on Ryan really put them in a hole to where it really, like you said, it took Taylor out of the game, and it really forced a lot of fumbles in the game, and it really forced a lot of ill-advised throws, man. But what a time to be alive!
Oh yeah,
yeah. Hey, I don't want to forget because I know Hooker's one of your boys. Until we signed him this year, man. And Hooker had a hell of a game, too. I mean, it was just a complete defensive effort by the Cowboys that really allowed the offense, to do what the offense did.
Yeah, like I said, it was a 2-point game going into the fourth quarter, and then after that, it got ugly. Ugly quick. Got ugly quick. But
there's a lot of things, I think the Colts, if I'm not wrong, Gonzo, I believe you guys are drafting because the draft rankings or the draft order just came out, and they have you guys drafted 9th. If I'm not mistaken, I believe you were drafted 9th. So at the 9th pick, I think it gives you some options. It gives you some options definitely at offensive linemen. I think it gives you some options at the wide receiver spot. And depending on how the whole quarterback thing rolls out, there may be even a quarterback that could fall your direction as well. What are you thinking about your Colts in terms of drafting 9th, kind of seeing where you were and where you go from there?
It's going to be interesting to see what they do. They might, depending on what happens the rest of this season, they might even move up some. I don't know if there'll be. It's going to be interesting to see if they try to go for a quarterback or if they go other needs. It didn't make much sense to me that last night you had Nick Foles as your backup and didn't even have Ellinger active. So that didn't make a lot of sense. So I'm not sure exactly what their plan is. If I'm them, I'd go ahead and play Ellinger and see what I have, which I thought they were going to do earlier in the year, but then they decided to go back with Ryan. But they got to get the offensive line fixed. And then also we got to figure out what we're going to do at quarterback. Them are the two main things I think that we have to get solved. And I mean, there's going to be.
But I got to be honest with you. I think even, in all honesty, I think even if you put in Ellinger or you put in Nick Foles, the way that defense was breaking down the offensive line and getting to the quarterback, I don't think it would have really mattered. I really, really don't. I don't think Ellinger, being as young and raw as he is, because he really hasn't played a whole hell of a lot, would have done any better than Ryan under that pressure. And Foles, I think that probably would have been your best option. If you're going to take out Ryan, I think Foles would have been the best option because I think he would have been able to handle the pressure better than I think what Ellinger did. But quite honestly, the way that the biggest enemy for you guys, honestly, wasn't the quarterback. It was that offensive line, man. The offensive line just could not contain the pressure. And it just put Ryan in bad spots. And I think it would have put Foles. I think if he would have put Ellinger in there, I think that would have even been worse. I just don't think he was going to be able to handle the pressure that was going to come his way.
Oh, no, I'm not saying it was going to change anything last night. I'm just saying at some point, you got to see what you got. If you think he's going to be your guy or if you're going to draft a guy.
Right. And that's why I really think, man, your biggest need has got to be that offensive line. I don't care who you draft or whatever the case may be, man. That offensive line, especially what I saw against the Cowboys, they just couldn't handle that pressure, man. And I think that was just your biggest issue was that O-line. So I think if I was them, I would, number one, I would definitely be looking at the O-line. Number two, I'm definitely looking for a head coach. Hey, I love Saturday, but I just think last night his inability to change up things, it just, he's just inexperienced. It's not his fault. He's a great player, but sometimes that experience just gets you, man. And I think that experience is just hurting him right now,
I didn't think it was as much Saturday last night as was you can't keep fumbling the ball and then you can't keep throwing interceptions. I mean, that was our downfall big time. We'd get a big play with Mo Alley Cox, he fumbles it. Hell, we got lucky. Jonathan Taylor had fumbled earlier in the game. We got lucky he was down. But I mean, there was 2 or 3 fumbles. I think we had 5 or 6 turnovers, and almost all of them was in the fourth quarter.
I know you had I know you had 2 fumbles, and I know you had 2 picks. That was like 4 right there. Somebody else I think they had a pick too as well outside of Bland, and I can't remember who it was. There was one other pick in there, but I think you're right. I think you had like 5 turnovers in that second half.
And almost all of them was in the fourth quarter. That fourth quarter was terrible.
Yeah, every time we turned around, it was just one after the other. Hooker, if you think Hooker was the guy who would probably be there,
Yeah, at 9 you probably could get a guy like Hooker. It just all depends on that knee and on that injury. I'm still high on Hooker. I think he's going to be a good quarterback in the league. But even if you get him, you're going to have somebody probably to start next year just because he's probably going to need to sit for a little while before he's ready to go.
Yeah, because the only downside to Hooker is he's just not fully pro ready. You know what I mean? Like Tennessee does not exactly build their quarterbacks around the pro system. So I think it may take him a little time to get used to the pro system. But at the same time, you can't rest a guy either. Hey, you don't gain experience holding a clipboard. You got to go out there and actually play the game and see things as they come at you so you can get acclimated to it, right? And I think that's the thing. I think you probably would need to, if you're going to sit him, okay, maybe you give him 1 year, but that's it. I think after that 1 year, we're going at it. And we're gonna get him in there and get some game experience, but you just can't get experience sitting on the sideline.
No, that's true.
But I do think though, maybe because he's coming off, that it was the ACL that he tore, because he's coming off that injury, I think I do sit him that first year just to make sure, that his body is like 100% healthy and that the doctors, the trainers, the physical therapists, that they're all conjoining around him to make sure that when I put him on the field, that I'm not put him on the field too soon to where I got an RG3 issue and then he just never sees the light of day. So I think you got to make sure he's 100% before you throw him out there on the field and to the Lions.
Oh yeah. That's why I said he might have to sit for at least a year, just because you don't know how he's going to come off that injury.
Absolutely. What do you think about this Raiders team, man? Holy crap. I know Logan is just happy as crap right now, man. Those dudes are on a 3-game win streak, and it looks like maybe Josh McDaniels' guillotine is going to be pushed back a little bit. Maybe they're going to give him an opportunity now. I don't know, but that 3-game win streak certainly does bode well for them. I think who did they beat this week? Was it the Chargers they beat? I know they beat somebody. No, the Broncos. Was it the Broncos? No, the Broncos played the Ravens. I think it might have been the Chargers they beat this week.
I think it was. Let me get it pulled up here real quick.
Which, by the way, if you look at the way this Raiders team is playing, the biggest key to their success and turnaround is the fact that Jacobs now is averaging around 119 yards over the last 3 games. You got Adams averaging around 140 yards over the last 3 games. And then you got Crosby coming in off the defense along with Chandler Jones and starting to get those sacks, those defensive pressures. And I think those – and then, of course, you got Carr over the last, 3 or 4 games. He's been completing around 60% of his passes. So I think you got Carr, you got your 3-headed monster in conjunction now, along with your defense kind of starting to step up a little bit. And I think this is the momentum that the Raiders kind of needed back in week 1.
Yeah, they're getting their momentum a little too late, but they have looked better the last 3 weeks. The Chargers, man, they just had so many damn injuries. It's kind of wrecked their season with all the guys they've lost. Plus,
I think didn't wide receiver Williams, didn't he just go back down again? I think he got hurt in this game, so I think he's out again.
He didn't even play in the game.
So maybe it was last week. So he didn't come back from last. Okay, so yeah, they're like you said, man. Hey, and then again, I mean, so is Staley on the hot seat now? Should we start looking at him, or should they start looking at him?
I would be surprised if he's back. The only way that he might get a chance to come back is just because of all the injuries. Maybe they think if the team would have been healthy, but I think their offensive coordinator is a spot they need to change. I don't like their play calling. I think they get a little too conservative at times.
Yeah, I mean, this week really was quite interesting. There was a lot of key injuries over the week. And then again, to Anthony Price, and I know we're going to jump in that here in a minute, but when you look at the bottom of the NFC right now, when I say the bottom, I'm talking about the bottom of the playoff picture. When it stops at 7, Seattle is right there at 7. And then you got Washington at 8. And you got New York Giants, I believe, at 6. And here's the deal. So the Commanders and Giants split this week. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. So there was a lot of key components in this week that really went on. And again, we look at the Garoppolo. Let's take Garoppolo injury for a minute. Let's break that down for a sec. Garoppolo goes down with a broke foot. We know where 49ers were sitting. I mean, I think at one point I saw that we were talking about the 49ers Cowboys being the best 2 teams to compete for the Super Bowl. And, a lot of people are actually overlooking the Eagles, and we'll talk about the Eagles, I'm sure, in a minute. But again, man, now that these dudes got a broke foot, now what are they going to do? Do you leave Hurdy and go forward, Gonzo? Or do you try to go snag up a Baker who they said he was cut? I've heard rumors that he requested to be released. But now do you go after a Baker, slot Baker in with the 49ers and go from there? And I'll be honest with you, man. I think Baker, if it was true that he requested a trade, which if I was Baker, I would request to be released too, because quite honestly, leaving Cleveland and going to Carolina was never a good move for him personally. Carolina is just in a world of crap. You know what I'm saying? And that was just a bad move for him. So I think being released, can he now get re-energized, or can he reemerge his competitive spirit, go into a team that is much better suited, to get into the playoffs? And you got guys all around you that are all fitted in. Can Baker fit in there and just be a game manager and facilitate to Burke, Debo, and Elijah and Christian? I mean, what do you think about Baker in the 49ers now that Garoppolo's hurt? Do you think he slides in well over there?
Man, it's tough. It's tough to tell because I thought Baker was going to come out this year and look better than what he did last year, because last year he was playing through an injury, and it just didn't. He just didn't look good in Carolina at all. And I don't know if that was more on him or if it was more on the system. It's going to be interesting what the 49ers think. Purdy came in and played pretty good yesterday to finish out that game, and everything. But also, he's a rookie quarterback. Or do you want to? I mean, you have a defense that hasn't gave up hardly nothing, especially in the second half over the last 4 or 5 games. And so, do you want to rely on a rookie quarterback to try to get you where you think you could go? And I was high on the 49ers. It sucks that Garoppolo got hurt because I think they were one of the better teams in the NFC, especially now that they were getting everybody healthy. And you get everybody healthy, then you lose your quarterback.
Right. Your dad asked your dad was saying that he thinks they should stay with Purdy. Again, I don't think Purdy gets you to the promised land. I think he's good. I think he's certainly, playing well for where he's at, but I just don't feel like he has enough experience to get them to the Super Bowl. I still think Baker, his veteran leadership and competitive spirit could get you there. But again, I think I bring in Baker. I think I get Baker cheap. I don't think I got to pay Baker a whole hell of a lot of money. I think Baker comes in. I give him a 1-year deal. I say, look, man, I'm going to give you 1 year, maybe a 2-year at best. I bring you in. Hey, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to play Purdy until Purdy falters or he starts struggling and can't get the job done, and then I'm going to slot your ass in. And I think you go that direction. I think you get maybe you do give Purdy the option. Bring in Baker as in case he starts to falter, and then you slide. Because do you really want to miss out on another chance at a Super Bowl on a guy that you don't know 100% can handle the pressure of getting into the playoffs and that environment? I believe Baker can do that. And that's why I think you bring Baker in as, I guess, an insurance policy, a cheap insurance policy in case Purdy can't do it. Then you got Baker in the wings chomping at the bits, wanting to reemerge himself.
Yeah. I mean, if you can get him cheap, I guess you could bring him in. I don't have a whole lot of faith left in Baker after what I've seen from the last.
But, look, man, sometimes, and look, I guarantee you, if you was to go over to Seattle right now and talk to Gino would tell you, look, there's a lot of people that didn't think I could do this or didn't think I could do that, and they wrote me the fuck off. And now I got Seattle at 7-5 in the playoffs right now, currently. And they probably said the same shit about me as they did about Baker. Hell, so I don't know if sometimes just the right situation, the right moment can put you into a spot that can get you where you need to go. And that's why I say don't write him off. Take him in as an insurance policy, see what he does, because sometimes that change of scenery, that change of mindset, that change of culture, that winning culture can put you into a different mode.
Yeah. I just think, I don't know. I think the 49ers will probably I think they might stay with Purdy just because with all the weapons they have, you need a game manager. You don't need a guy that's going to put everything on his shoulders.
Right.
But I mean, you never know. I know they were talking about they were going to sign Johnson as a backup. If you're going to sign Johnson as a backup, I'll look at Baker as a backup before I would sign Johnson off the practice squad as a backup. I mean, we've seen Johnson try to play, and he hasn't been able to play.
Right.
But it's going to be interesting to see what the 49ers decide to do. We'll see what the 49ers think of Baker.
And one more thing, if I can add. There was a time when the Browns were complete and total dog shit, and we mentioned the Browns, we laughed our asses off. And they went and got Baker. And then all of a sudden, we weren't laughing at the Browns anymore. That they actually had something over there. Now, yeah, you could say, obviously, Landry, Chubb, there are some other components that obviously help turn that Browns around. But again, that car don't go anywhere unless you don't have the right guy at the steering wheel. And Baker did get them back being in a quote-unquote competitive conversation rather than it's the fucking Browns. So, I mean, just don't take everything away from Baker because Baker has had success in the NFL.
Oh, no, I understand that. But the last couple seasons he hasn't. And
I get that.
This year,
that's what I'm saying. Sometimes that change of culture, that change of the scenery to the right culture can facilitate that. But let's be honest. Carolina doesn't have the right culture. They don't have that winning attitude over there. They're not dealing in positivity over there. Those dudes are in a dark-ass cloud. And that can bring down a person. It really can. It can change the way you think, the way you act, everything. But if you go to a situation like they have in San Fran, where those dudes are competitive, they're hungry, everybody is wanting the same thing. They have a pretty good coach and a good culture. That can change somebody. I'm telling you. And it can show you or bring out the best in them.
No, it could, but also you have to look at this. Baker is the 31st rated quarterback in the NFL this year. And that Carolina team was looking better with PJ Walker under center before PJ Walker got hurt. PJ Walker had him competitive and right there in games. They look more competitive with PJ Walker than what they did with Baker or Darnold.
And again, I'm not trying to take anything away from PJ Walker, but I'm just trying to tell you also just take into consideration the headspace that Baker's been in. He was in Cleveland where he thought, they loved him and had his back. Then they brought in Deshaun Watson and basically told Baker to go F himself. And then they put him over into Carolina, and they were trying. They couldn't make the decision under Matt Rule, for crying out loud. I mean, sometimes your headspace, and Rob, you tell me if I'm wrong. Sometimes a man's headspace can jack up his talents and his playing ability. And sometimes when you go to a situation where you feel like people want you, where you're in a winning environment, that can change your headspace. And then when you change your headspace, then you can bring your other athletic gifts into it because now you're in the right mind. If your mind is not right, or if you feel like a stepchild just being passed around and not feeling wanted, come on, man. I'm just saying. What do you think, Rob? I mean, you're new to this topic that we just brought in. What do you think? By the way, first of all, hey, look, how you doing?
How y'all doing?
Wait, I'm doing wonderful. Gonzo's a little sad right now. He had a long wrestling weekend. Then he had to watch his team get obliterated by the Cowboys. So he's in recuperation mode right now.
At least you're not still owned by Aaron Rodgers.
Damn, coach.
Jay, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with your synopsis of the improper headspace or the improper mental capacity can affect your game. But in Baker's case, he's just not that guy. And unfortunately, he's been given chance after chance after chance to prove he can get the job done. And the only thing we can go off of is the 1 year that the Cleveland Browns had a great year and they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the first round of the playoffs. After that, there is really nothing positive to say about Baker Mayfield, unfortunately. And I saw it coming with Carolina. I saw it coming. When you're fighting against Sam Darnold and then you get benched after you win the spot, the writing was already on the wall. Sorry, Baker.
He was the man. Let me ask you this.
He was the man in college, though.
Yeah. But again, I guess to support my argument is when I look at a guy like I said earlier, when I talk about Geno, we all wrote Geno off from the Jets to the Giants to wherever else he was going. At one point, I forgot Geno was even in the damn league. I thought he was out there working at Goodwill or pushing peanuts or something. I forgot he was even in the league. And then he comes out of nowhere and reminds us, hey, yo, Jay, I know you thought I was pushing peanuts, but I'm over here in my Lambo playing with the Seahawks. And he probably didn't notice this, but I'm in the playoffs and I got a winning record. Did you check it out, Jay? Did you look at me? Did you forget about it? Because Rob Scott over there, he'll rock me off in a heartbeat. But I know you won't, Jay. I know you won't, because you remember we right here. You won't rock me off, will you, Jay? You gonna give Baker another shot, Jay? One shot, just one. Hey, not to quote Eminem, but quoting Eminem. What was the one? What was the one? The song that he had? Oh, damn it! Never mind.
Got one shot, one chance. I know what you were going.
You gotta lose yourself. Use yourself in the music.
I got your back, Jay.
Jesus. Hey, for once, Ebony and Ivory was in sync. You were reading my Mobo.
Yes, Lord.
But Jay, there's also a difference between Geno and Baker.
Okay.
But Baker has had multiple opportunities as a starting quarterback. Geno had the one opportunity as a starter, had the thing where he punched a guy.
He had two.
Okay, two. But let me finish.
Okay, well, two is multiple, so I'll give you that.
Okay,
you got to buy a technicality.
Geno didn't have as many chances as Baker has had. Geno kind of got pushed aside because he punched a guy in the locker room, had some other stuff go on. Now he's finally got another opportunity. But Baker got benched for PJ Walker, a guy that's been a career practice squad guy or a backup guy, and Walker had that team playing better than what Baker had this year. I don't know. I mean, you might be right. San Francisco might take a chance on Baker, but I really don't think Baker gives them that much of a better chance.
And that's a good argument. You make a good point. But Rob, to support my argument on that point, by the way, it's a good point. When Geno got his second opportunity, it was in a really, really good spot. Number one, he had Pete Carroll, who had Super Bowl aspirations, great USC. I mean, Pete Carroll has done really well as a coach. So he already had a really good coach. He had a really good environment. He had two kick-ass wide receivers in Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. And he had a superior running back before he got hurt, and Walker. And he had a great offensive line and a pretty good defense. What the hell did Baker have to work with? DJ Moore, I'll give you that. They shipped off McCaffrey. Then they gave him – Foreman's not bad. Foreman's okay. He's on my fantasy squad. But really – did Baker really have the kind of support system and culture and players around him like what Geno had on his second opportunity?
He had it in Cleveland.
PJ Walker was playing with this.
No, I get it. Again, I'm not taking, but again, okay. And to Gonzo's point, when Baker first took over with Cleveland, he took it from dog shit Jets Lions status to a pretty good team in the verge of the playoffs. And then the latter years, he started kind of dipping down a little bit. So I get that too. I get it. All night. Mike Hughes, beautiful Mike Hughes is on the scene with Justin Fields in full effect.
Hey, unfortunately, Mike Hughes, that's the only jersey we can wear that we can be proud of with the Chicago Bears.
The only one.
JF1, baby. JF1.
Jay Jettis.
Somebody better get that boy some help. But Jay, I get what you're saying. And if you really look at the Geno Smith situation, he kind of got it by default. Like, it was nobody there after they let go of Russell Wilson. The Seahawks needed somebody to fill that void. And a lot of people thought that the Seahawks was going to tank. Nobody saw the Seahawks coming. So, shout out to
him in last place.
So, but that's a shout out to Geno for taking advantage of getting another chance and taking full advantage of it. But Baker Mayfield has had chance after chance after chance after chance. And it is now you have to call a spade a spade. And
fuck that guy.
The old saying goes, if walks like a duck and waddles like a duck, quacks like a duck,
it's a dog.
Probably a duck.
Oh.
But what if, and I'm gonna play the what if game, and we all know what the what if game looks like, right? I mean, it doesn't hold a whole lot of water. But I am curious to know that if he was to go to the culture of the 49ers, and we all know they had the right pieces in place, right? They got the right running backs. They got the right offensive line. They got the right tight end and Kittle. I mean, they have everything you need. They just need a guy to steer the damn ship. What if Baker was to go there and get reinvigorated by that culture, by that thing, and then he could interchange the first year that he played with the Browns and bought them into something. I mean, what if that could be something? Then how would our mindset be of Baker? Mike, I know you just chew. Golly,
that.
you have almost about as much life that come out your mouth as Blue does.
That's awful. That's awful. You know why, Jay? Because last season, not even a year ago, he had Odell, Austin Hooper's a dog. Don't get that twisted. He had another solid Njoku.
I like Hooper, by the way. I do.
Von Landry.
You have Landry. You have Nick Chubb. You have Kareem Hunt. You have one of the best defenses in the league, and you still didn't get it done. So that to me is not enough.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Mike. No, that's good points. Again, I understand completely.
No, yeah, I wasn't arguing. I was just saying, like,
no. What I'm saying is that's good point.
That
so let me ask you this.
was crazy.
So from a different angle, then, if you are the 49ers, are you going to ride your whole playoff chances on Purdy? Or do you look for somebody to come in? Because let's be honest, Johnson ain't going to get you a Super Bowl ring. I don't think Purdy can give you a Super Bowl ring. No. So then if that's the case, are you going to willing to just basically, quote unquote, waste the season? Or would you give somebody like Baker a chance? Or is there somebody else out there that you think could get them where they got to go? What would be the best option for the 49ers to get to the Super Bowl? Or is, like a lot of people say, is their season just basically done?
I made a post earlier, just a Colin Kaepernick question, and Rob Scott was digging that one. But I don't think Colin would even be interested at this point in what he's doing. He's doing much bigger things. But somebody who I do think is getting the short end of a stick, I've been seeing him on a lot of podcasts, is Cam Newton. I think Cam Newton kind of could be that system Rob Scott was.
Wait a minute now. How many damn chances is, because we're talking chances.
Are you taking
damn ball sacks? How many chances has Cam Newton had?
Are you taking Baker Mayfield or Cam Newton?
No, I'm saying earlier the argument on Baker was how many chances Baker's had, and I'm like, how many chances has freaking Cam Newton?
Let me ask you this: Do you really think Baker is going to get the 49ers to the Super Bowl?
No,
that's the thing. I can't say that, but I cannot say that either. I want to see him. I want to see
Purdy
him
has just as good a chance as Baker.
I think Cam Newton's been to the Super Bowl.
And did he win?
Not his fault.
I'm just asking.
You didn't ask me.
I also saw him go over and be with Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick, and he did dog doo-doo poop.
That's
one of the best coaches in the league.
How are they doing right now? Oh, they're the best coaches in the league. But what happened when Tom left?
Oh no, I get that. Well, it wasn't so much when Tom left because they still got back to the playoffs with Matt Brown and his freshman year. The trick there, hold on. The problem there, or the part of your argument that I don't agree with there, is the fact that Josh McDaniels was a huge part of that Patriots. And in all honesty, I think Josh McDaniels should have a lot of credit along with Brady's success because let's be honest, I think he developed Brady in some aspects.
Jay, I would if I'm the 49ers, I would take Cooper Rush before I take Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
That's fine. Give me draft picks and we can make that happen.
No, sir.
Give me some draft picks. And we can make
the problem
that
is, Jay, there's no quarterback that's won a Super Bowl or have gotten to the Super Bowl just sitting out there that you can just plug in.
Right.
I mean, Newton.
Okay, so let's just be honest. Let's be honest. Does anybody here think two questions? Question one is, does anybody here think with Purdy, the 49ers get to the Super Bowl?
Yes.
And then question two, if Purdy's not your guy, is there anybody out there that's available that can get them to the Super Bowl? Or is it just, like I said, a wasted year for them and they got to come back next year?
Cam Newton. But I've also heard that Trey Lance isn't too far off from coming back either. So I don't really know what that's going to look like.
That's true. And again, maybe you just need a gap fill guy to get you to Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Well, I've also heard that the 49ers aren't sold on Trey Lance. They've been
I'm not sold on Trey Lance.
Hold on. I've heard that they're not sold on him. That they've been calling some quarterback guru guys to try to come in and work with them because they're not sold on that he's the guy.
It's almost like he didn't play his last 2 years in college football, and for whatever reason, they still took fucking Trey Lance over Justin Fields. But that's fine, baby.
Yeah, I really think the 49ers screwed the pooch when they didn't take Justin Fields. Because I felt like Justin Fields had mobility, he had arm strength, and that was some guy you can make into a really badass quarterback with the right developmental coach. Justin Fields could have been really amazing. Or can still be amazing. He's going to be amazing, but for them would have been amazing.
AP, I love Justin Fields, but let's not go that far.
Fuck, I don't even like Lamar. I'm not even a big Lamar fan. I'm not. Fuck
Frankie.
Lamar. Fuck Lamar.
I love Lamar Jackson.
Hey, Frankie loves some Mike, man. Mike Hughes, I swear. If Frankie was a girl, I don't think Frankie had to be a girl. I just think if he went over there right now, man,
Look
he'd
at
probably
this.
try to make a move on you.
Do you see that Italian stallion right there?
You know what the funny thing is? The funny thing about it is my cousin. Hey, my cousin's last name is Hughes, and I often think sometimes, I wonder if the Hughes legacy floats down in my family tree somewhere from the Mike Hughes' line. I'm just saying. We might be related to some kind of look. Me and you need to go do some DNA shit and see if there's some qualities. You might be surprised. Or
keep your fluids and your spit away from you.
but just so you
Chris,
know,
I wouldn't recommend showing that next comment.
The Hughes bloodline is connected to the McMahon bloodline. You know that.
Probably.
Oh no, there's no problem. It is. It's connected.
I can't really even say that, AP, because Lamar Jackson made huge strides this year before his injury. And honestly, people can say if he had the weapons around him, I think he would have been a much more pass-first quarterback this year.
Lamar Jackson is, you know what? I'll save that for another day. Lamar Jackson's the best quarterback in football.
They're going to have to pay that man. If they want to keep him, they're going to have to pay him.
Lamar is the best quarterback in football.
And while we're speaking about the 49ers, if he becomes a free agent, don't be surprised if they go look at L. Jack.
I would too.
Hey, speaking of Jackson, so he's hurt right now. I guess.
I know.
Is it a quad? I think it's a quad issue.
Yeah. When I was watching Sports Center early this morning, as I got an early start to my day, he's going to be missing a couple of games, but he's not ruled out for the season.
Good.
So my question is how because when I look at Tyler Huntley, I see Lamar Jack 2.0, but he's got qualities that are similar to Jackson.
Yes,
which
qualities,
I think,
but we
that was a racially
he's not Lamar
motivated
Jackson
statement.
because
what I'm saying is
L.
like
Jack
Lamar,
Jacksonville almost got that game.
Gonzo like
well,
that.
that's true. But I think Huntley, look, Baltimore is a run heavy team, and all Huntley has to do is just basically follow the same game plan that Lamar was following. Just do the run heavy. He can run. We don't know Tyler Huntley can run.
Huntley's nice. Huntley's nice. He's only 25 too. So
if
Lamar were to leave, I don't think they would be in a horrible place. But I mean, it's going to change a lot of things because Lamar ain't even really been running like that this year. So I think there's definitely levels to it. Like if you're not watching Lamar, if like for a lot of people who say, "Oh, he can't throw the football," they're not watching him.
They're not watching the games, and I'm tired of people saying run like that's the only thing he can do because there's a difference between a running quarterback and a playmaker.
Right.
He's a playmaker. Tyler Huntley can run. Yeah, he has some qualities of Lamar Jackson. He doesn't make plays like Lamar Jackson.
Right.
That is the difference.
The problem with Lamar, the only problem I have with Lamar is because he, quote unquote, like you said, is a playmaker, which I'm definitely not going to do. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. Is when you get guys that are like that, though, they are susceptible to a lot of injuries, man. That's just part of the nature of the business.
I'll tell you what, though,
being a playmaker.
Where did this injury happen?
It was actually a non-contact injury, if I understood it.
It happened in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, though, is the injury can happen in the pocket, but the underlying issue before the injury could have happened somewhere else. And what I mean by that is, look, Mike, you've torn ligaments. I've torn ligaments. Look, what I'm saying is, if you've ever torn ligaments, then the first thing your doctor tells you is, look, yeah, we can reattach. Yeah, we can do things. The problem is, and like Joe Stevens, that played for the Rockets, even said, hey, look, you only got so many jumps in that body. So even though the initial injury happened in the pocket, the weakening of what was happening before that could have happened sooner. And it just so happened that when he was in the pocket, that's when it decided to go left. Well, but the initial cause of it could have happened sooner when he was doing other plays.
Hey, why does everybody want to kill Lamar because he's a runner or whatever? But they think Jalen Hurts is the next greatest thing, and he does the same thing.
And Jalen Hurts takes damage. Jalen Hurts take damage because he be trying to run through the field.
He does take damage. Absolutely.
And here's another name I'm gonna throw out there where everybody say he's the end all be all, but Josh Allen takes a whole lot of hits too.
He does. And that's the thing, right? That's the downside to being a runner/thrower, right? Is when you run a lot like that, you are still putting a lot of wear and tear on the body. That's just the downside of being a mobile/passing quarterback.
But I see a bunch of guys that sit in the pocket that don't throw the ball away too, that take a lot of more hits than runners.
It's true, but watch this. How do you think Tom Brady got so long in his career?
Would you rather?
But ask this, how do you think Tom Brady and how do you think Aaron Rodgers
compare Tom Brady? Tom Brady can't run
because they don't put themselves in abusive situations.
I can run faster than Tom Brady.
You are comparing.
If you look at his combine, Blue over there, who hasn't run since 1976, can run faster than Brady. Okay.
Hey, I'll walk with this and can run faster than Tom Brady. Come on.
But Jay, I mean,
come on. I mean, it's just a law of averages, Mike.
You're comparing an anomaly, man. You're comparing a 50-year-old who still thinks he's 25. Like that doesn't happen. That's a rare instance. It's like comparing.
Not necessarily. Hell, hey, where's Rodgers pushing right now in age?
He's like 39, but guess what?
Okay,
but don't do that because guess what? I grew up on that kid. How many season-ending injuries has Aaron Rodgers had?
How many? None that I know of.
7.
Wait, he has 7?
7.
Okay, then I'm not tracking that. I'm not tracking 7.
That man's dislocated. That man's discount double-checked himself more times than I could fucking count. That guy's gotten injured more than anybody. He separates his collarbone every other fucking season. He has a broken thumb right now.
Well, let's be honest. I'm not saying that injuries can't – watch it, Mike. I'm not saying
quarterbacks in the leg no more because
we know injuries can happen in the NFL. We know that.
And
what I'm saying is when you're a runner and a thrower – those injuries, that statistical injury goes up. It goes up. Come on, it just happened. That's what it is.
There is not a single quarterback in the NFL that ever leaves his career not injured because Tom Brady's even.
I understand that.
You know, Tom Brady's torn his ACL, right?
Remember, the Tom Brady had that 1 year he was out, and then they had Jimmy G, and he was out. Then Jacoby Brissett stepped up, and I mean, it happens to all quarterbacks. So that's why.
What I'm saying though is when you put yourself out there enough,
they say because you're. I mean, hell, if we're gonna say it like that, at the way that the Bengals are looking, old Smoking Joe gonna be injured soon. I mean,
he's already been injured once.
He already tore his fucking ACL.
We can't kill a quarterback for using his strong features.
Well, when I look at, and I said it once, I'll say it again. I stand behind him, man. When I look at Lamar Jackson, I see an RB1 and a QB2 meshed into things. That's what I see.
That's crazy.
So what do you?
I know it's great. I know it sounds crazy, but he's a better runner. He's more noted for his running and his passing.
What do you see when you look at Jalen Hurts?
Pretty much almost the same thing, because he's known more for his run. He's more of a running back quarterback hybrid. He's a fucking hybrid.
But I think being a hybrid,
you were telling me being a hybrid is what you need in today's.
Being a hybrid is what you need in today's league anyway. With the way that
I don't know, man. Look, if I got wide receiver ones that or even wide receiver twos, I want a quarterback. I got a running back in Pollard. They got a running back in Miles Sanders.
So what happens when the pocket collapses?
Dobbins. I mean, they got running backs for a reason.
What happens when the pocket collapses? I mean, because even Aaron Rodgers is known to use his legs. I mean, this is how quarterbacks
there's a difference between using your legs and then being known for using your legs.
Well, that's because
when I think of Lamar, when I think of Hurts, even to Chris Gonzalez's point, when I think of Hurts, when I think of Lamar Jackson, I do think running before I think passing.
I think you're holding on to the pass of Lamar Jackson because if you looked at Lamar Jackson this season,
I'm not saying Lamar can't throw the ball. I never said he can't throw the ball.
He's been pass first, and he's been showing even with the way that he runs now. Lamar Jackson slides. He don't even take hits anymore.
If you put,
I get that. But let me ask you a question, Rob and Mike. I'll ask you the same question, man, and Gonzo as well. If you're Justin Jefferson, who would you want to play with?
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson over Kirk Cousins any day.
Or do you want to go play? Or do you want to go play with Hurts or Jackson? What is better for your overall career? Because remember, you're a receiver. Your receiving is based on the ball coming from the quarterback. And if he's running it more than throwing it, how does that affect your career? And how does that affect your legacy in terms of yardage, right? Because we think of Jerry Rice, we think of how many yards he got.
Lamar Jackson.
Okay, Jay, I'm going to counter your question with a question. When has Lamar Jackson ever had a number one receiver?
And when is a 1-for-1 receiver ever wanted to go there?
How do you know number one receiver never wanted to go there?
Okay, watch out. Has anybody gone there?
That's
how I know.
That's on the Ravens.
So is it Lamar Jackson or is it Lamar Jackson?
Baltimore
Or
doesn't have a
down
market.
the door to go play with Lamar?
Is it because Lamar Jackson or is it because Baltimore don't pay people, i.e. Lamar
Now,
Jackson?
that's a good question. Okay, Rob Scott, I succeed the point.
I also think Justin Jefferson got 1,600 yards with Kirk Cousins as his fucking quarterback. So it really
I succeeded. Hey, I don't have a white flag. I got a black microphone. I succeed, motherfucker. Shit.
You just hating on Lamar.
I'm just saying. Baltimore,
I'm not hating on Lamar.
Ed Reed.
I like Lamar.
Ed Reed, who is known as one of the best safeties, if not the best safety to ever play the game, sat down and said that Baltimore should pay Lamar. He just don't think that's how Baltimore would do because Baltimore's never been a city to pay people.
But let me ask you this: if you're Lamar Jackson, how nervous are you though that you could get a season-ending injury or even a career-ending injury on the franchise tag? I'm not talking about where. I'm talking about now. We're talking about getting paid because right now they got to pay. They got to pay what Roquan Smith and just got. What happens if Baltimore says, you know what? We're not going to pay. We're going to franchise Lamar one more year. We're going to go ahead and take care of Roquan Smith. We're going to get him paid and good to go. Hey, Lamar, you're going to have to ride one more year in the franchise. If you're Lamar,
I'm sitting out.
Like, shit.
If I'm Lamar, I sit out.
Because, my point is, again, you're running, you're putting your body out there. You're obviously, like you said, a big part of the offense. At what point do you say, if I take a season-ending injury or a career, because what if somebody hits me in the kneecap and I'm just fucking done? I got a Joe Theismann. I got a freaking Alex Smith injury. Now I'm just done. And there is no more future contract. That's what I worry about for a guy like Lamar, is I feel like, man, he's really putting himself out there. Like you said, Rob, if I'm you, I'm sitting out. Fuck this.
You just named 2 quarterbacks who had career-ending knee injuries that never ran the ball.
Did you
Oh damn, Mike Hughes. I already surrendered the flag.
Yeah,
but no,
I surrendered, Mike. I surrendered, man. Let me
I'm
go.
sorry.
Let my people go.
Washington done the same thing to Kirk Cousins? Did you feel that way about Kirk Cousins? They done the same thing, kept franchise tagging him, and then they got rid of him.
I feel bad for any quarterback that deserves a payday. I do think Lamar deserves a payday. I'm not saying he does. He's freaking MVP from 2019 or 20, whatever. He deserves a damn contract. Okay. Not
to mention, he got the Ravens at number one place
for a player who deserves it and is putting their body at risk and then putting their future income at risk. I hate to see that.
I want a Lamar Jackson jersey for Christmas. Mm-hmm. That's what I've done.
But I also want to see half the penalties in NFL go away, and let's get back to smash mouth football and make these $100 million quarterbacks earn that $100 million. I also want to see that, but it probably ain't going to happen. We're still going to get this flag football 1.0 still going on. So it is what it is.
I mean, well, it is an exciting time because the playoffs now are right around the corner.
Jesus Christ. Did you see? Now, listen, I'll be honest with you, I'm a Cowboys fan.
Right.
And it really surprised me when I looked on Blitz Report and I saw their power rankings. They had Cowboys at 3. And I'm thinking like, I don't know. Cowboys are a good team. I don't know. 3?
Jay, I'm going to tell you this.
I don't know.
Especially with what just happened to Jimmy G. Right now, my favorites to come out of the NFC is the Dallas Cowboys.
But let me ask you this. And again, this is coming from a Cowboys fan. I love and I bleed my team. But I'm also, I got to be unbiased in some things. And I'm looking at the Eagles. I'm like, I don't know. I guess for me, I got to see the Cowboys with Dak. And we'll see that. We're going to see that in a matter of a couple of weeks, right? I want to see the Cowboys go against the Eagles with Dak and see how they play. And then when I see them play the Eagles, and if we beat the crap out of the Eagles, or if we even beat the Eagles, then I'm on board with that. But I gotta see it. And what scares me, and Gonzo, y'all just saw it. We had Brown go down with quote unquote could be an Achilles tear. But again, Bland, if you watch that game, Bland had 2 picks. He stepped up. That was a rookie that we drafted. So I don't know, man. I think our defense is still on point. I think we still got to go. But I got to see them beat the Eagles.
If the Cowboys are going to go anywhere, Dak Prescott has to quit throwing interceptions.
Well, he didn't really throw it against the Colts. He threw
2 interceptions last night.
He had a cataracts. He got some dust in his eye. He didn't quite see it clearly. It was all good.
He's thrown like 6 interceptions over his last 3 or 4 games.
Again, let my people go. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you, man. Hey, I guess to your point, we're gonna find out what the Cowboys really are when they go up against the best team in the NFL. And if we beat the best team in the NFL, then I'm gonna be like, all right, man. Hey, shit. But I gotta see him play that. I gotta see him play it before I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
This is coming from a Cowboys fan, so if you don't believe that, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, I know
there were years ago, and I think Mike Hughes, I was with the network when Mike Hughes was here, and Mike will tell you, I used to be in my delusional days where I would tell you right now, Cowboys going to Super Bowl. I don't give a damn what y'all say. Cowboys going to Super Bowl. Fuck the Eagles. Cowboys going to Super Bowl.
Jay, you secretly
you had to take a step back.
Jay, you became a little bit more unbiased, but I will say, I know as a Cowboy fan, somewhere in your body, in your soul, you have the thought that the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl.
It's in his elbow.
Of course I do, but I'm not going to say it.
No, but this year, you guys have been looking good. The only thing I think that can honestly hold you guys back right now is McCarthy.
Yeah,
100%. 100%.
I've been saying that. I've been saying since day one when I didn't want McCarthy as their damn coach, but it is what it is. You can't do nothing else spilt milk. I tell you this. Let me ask you guys. Hey, McCarthy, if the Cowboys don't get to at least, quote unquote, at least the NFC East championship, if the Cowboys don't make it to the championship, do you think that Jerry will finally come to a senses and be like, yo, Sean Payton's come back. McCarthy, hey, we appreciate you. Hey, you added 5. And then they make a heavy push for Payton? Or what do you think would happen if they fall short again?
If it's Sean, yeah. If it's not Sean, I don't think.
Yeah, and Jerry will have to have some type of assurance that Sean will sign. Like they will have to have like a secret handshake under the table. Like once this season is over with, you're my guy, and that's the only way I see McCarthy going.
Are you saying another Sean Payton scandal? Damn.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Hey, what a time to be alive, huh? Jeez Louise.
I'm just saying. Hey,
every fucking year is another Sean Payton scandal.
Oh God.
Hey,
but hey, I don't care. If it means a Super Bowl, scandal it away. Let's go.
But the only thing I get concerned about, the reason I say McCarthy is because first of all, he's not the most enthusiastic person, and I don't think he gets the team to really rally under his war speeches. But another thing too, there are several times this season where they're not playing Micah to his fullest potential. Stop putting him in pass defense. Let him rush the quarterback. That is what he is good at. In retrospect, a lot of people say that Dallas probably made a mistake by not signing Von Miller or paying him what he's worth. But when you got a guy like Micah Parsons, you almost question, do we really need him?
Right. And here's the deal. I think when you do have a guy like Micah Parsons that can play the end, that can play the linebacker, that can play if he had to, he could play safety or possibly. I'm not going to say corner because I don't think he's fast to be a corner, but I definitely think he can play safety, end, or linebacker, and you can literally put him at any spot on the field, and he's like a magnet to the ball. He will find a way to get there. Yeah, absolutely. I think you let a guy like Micah Parsons almost let him go on instinct alone. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a guy like Micah Parsons studies game film. I think a guy like Micah Parsons studies offenses, and I think he looks for things like that. But go ahead. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he literally looks for that. So I almost kind of want to give him a little bit of free reign and let him be creative in it.
Put that up there.
I didn't put that up there.
I have 3 admins in here, so it's between y'all.
Hey, look, man. He said no. I didn't put that up there. I wasn't even touching my mouth. I wasn't touching shit.
Weirdos.
But no, I think with a guy like Marca, because let me ask you this. When Ray Lewis was with Baltimore, do you think that the defensive coordinators told Ray where to line up, or where to go, or where to do? Or do you think Ray just kind of took it on himself where he was going to position himself?
I think in time it came where it was just Ray doing Ray, but that's something you need to earn. And I think Mike has earned that. I think he's shown it at a very young age. He understands this game very well, and he's one of those guys that wants to go and get it. I was just watching an interview of him as a kid where he just talks about wanting to make it. I mean, he's just driven like that. He's driven like that, but that doesn't mean McCarthy gets an excuse for underutilizing a guy like that. You're supposed to be able.
Oh no, I get that. Oh, I totally get that. As a matter of fact, if I was Dan Quinn, I'm gonna say, yo, I'm gonna probably pull Micah aside maybe around Thursday or Friday and be like, look, I know you've been watching game film on whatever opponent it is they're playing. Let me ask you this. What are you thinking? Like, what's your thought process on how you want to play this team? In some kind of way, I'm getting Micah involved in this, and I'm giving him you know what I'm saying? I'm letting him do what Micah does, and I want to know what he's thinking. I'm going to tell him what I'm thinking, and then let's just, go out there and do you. And I'm going to tell McCarthy, look, let the man do it, because I've already talked to him. I know where his game film is. I know what his thought process is, and it's on point. Let the man be the man, and let him do what he does. You know what I'm saying?
You get a race car, you go in the speed limit.
Yeah, that's true. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Makes no sense to me.
I know we talking about football, but did y'all see AD do 55 and 17 last night? Oh my God. I think that's the Anthony Davis.
Did you see Daniel Gafford dunk on his ass though?
Yeah, he got a block.
That was crazy.
But 55 and 17.
Yeah. My bad, Rob. I didn't mean to say that. Everyone always thinks I hate AD, but I was just, as a Bulls fan, I saw Gaff and I was like, that's what's up.
Hey, again, another player that's left the Bulls that's been doing pretty all right for himself.
100%.
But yeah, I know we talking football, man, but you know me, I'm a big NBA head, and goddamn, the season is getting good now.
Oh yeah,
it's getting good now.
I didn't see who did the Lakers play last night.
They played Washington, yeah.
Washington.
Yeah, LeBron had 29, AD 55, 17, Russell Westbrook 15 assists. I mean,
oh my God. It's almost like all last season y'all shit on me. Not Rob Scott. All last season y'all shit on me for saying, hey, maybe it's just a bad year. But no, fuck them. Fuck me. Fuck Russ. Fuck both of us. I guess we both can go fuck off together with our 15 assists. Right, Jay McLovin?
I said it once and I'll say it again.
Hall of Famer. Y'all just pray on
Russ. Hey, you know what?
Hey,
you know what?
I think hold on, Jay. I think it's time for people to start giving Darvin Ham his flowers, because he made the tough decision. He went to Russ and said, you will be better utilized as running my second unit.
Oh, I get it. Hey,
I will still give you starter minutes, and I will still allow you to be on the court with AD and LeBron. But Russ, we need you to run the second unit.
Oh, wait a minute, Rob Scott. Are you saying the Lakers actually hired a coach that has a backbone and can be a leader? Is that what you're telling me?
That's exactly
what I'll be damned.
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Darvin
Ham got more backbone than Rob Pelinka. I tell you that.
100%.
And Mike Hughes, as far as Russ is concerned, he was a Houston Rocket, and I still say fuck Russell Westbrook. He has no titles, so whatever. Hey, you know what? Whatever. Until you get a title, I don't want to hear shit. Until you contribute towards the title, I don't want to hear shit. Now, Darvin Ham did figure out how to utilize Russ. So I'm not going to say that Russ can't be utilized. But until then, he still has not got a ring. So we ain't hearing shit.
When's your last ring?
Let me see. When was my last
95.
ring? Let me think. Did I ever play in the NBA? No. What are you,
5'9"? 95. Last time Houston won was 95.
Yeah,
wait.
You're right about that. But didn't you do with Russell Westbrook? Why are you deflecting?
So
why are you deflecting? Is that your weak ass argument?
Why are you deflecting?
If you want to go to Houston, look, stop being insecure.
Go ahead.
Stop being insecure and grow up. Grow some hair in your ball sack. Let's have a conversation.
Hey, didn't you need Jordan to retire for 2 years to finally win a championship?
Maybe I did. And what's your
point?
What's your point, Mike?
Just like 2017, false championship right there.
Man, whatevs.
Fuck you. Fuck Dusty. Fuck all of them.
Hey, fuck Levine.
Yeah,
Fuck every coach you've had since Phil Jackson. hey, last time you saw the NFL Super Bowl was back when Ditka was your freaking guy.
No. We went in 06 when we lost to the Colts. I know, Chris.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say you lost? Okay, I rest my case. You lost. No cares.
Are we talking about championships and Cowboy fans?
No cares.
Are we talking about championships and Cowboy fans? I was in my daddy's sack the last time y'all went to a motherfucking Super Bowl.
Well, that's true. You probably well.
Yeah, bitch. And what?
It doesn't last that long. It regenerates. So I don't think you were even sperm in your daddy's sack. You may have been God's ultimate masterpiece.
Play with your mama, not with me. Play with your mama, not with me.
You may have
play
been
with your mama. Play with your mama. Don't play with me.
Waiting to be born. But you were your daddy's nutsack in 19 whatever it was. You were daddy's nutsack 20 seconds before your ass was conceived.
You sound like one of those motherfuckers who say that they were smokers for 25 years. You got a little voice box.
I'm confirmed that you failed
I'm
biology.
a smoker. I've been a smoker for 25 years. Shut the fuck up.
I call bullshit.
On Fridays at 6:30 p.m. Central.
Hey, but did you see how I did that there?
I did.
See how I referenced that for you, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
I'm always promoting you, Mike. I want you to know that I love you and I'm always promoting you. But you were only in your daddy's nutsack about 2, maybe 3 hours before you were conceived.
Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. It's been a lot of talk of nuts on this show.
What do you want? You want some hazelnuts? You want some walnuts?
No. I'm not a fan of nuts. I'm sorry.
I don't like nuts. I'm allergic.
Hey, listen, I blame Frankie.
I do too.
I blame Frankie. That's all I can tell you. I blame Frankie for all this.
You like that, Rob?
That comment
you like there. That? Play with your mama, not with me.
Play with your mama, not with me. Oh God.
Hey, real quick. Can we talk Raiders, man? Hey,
wow.
They're on a 3-game winning streak. What the hell, man?
It's over with.
Does it preserve Josh McDaniels' career just a little bit longer? Or
I don't think they wasn't gonna let him go out to the first year anyway. I mean, he's built up.
No, they wouldn't let him go, but was he still kind of,
I mean, anytime you're a losing coach, you're always on the chopping block, especially due to the fact that this was like the same song, same dance type of scenario. We've seen it before. We've seen him take a head coaching position, and we've seen him fail. And he ran back to Bill Belichick. So it was starting to look like that was going to be the same case. However, due to the fact that he did play under Belichick and he has kind of an aura in the league, he has a reputation in the league, I don't think the Las Vegas Raiders would have got rid of him yet. But I think for right now, he's kind of diverted some attention away from unwanted attention away from himself.
Can I ask just one question?
Yeah, ask question.
Because really, I don't have a lot of basspall to talk about.
Jay, I'm gonna get you a shirt that say that. Let me ask you one question.
Let me ask you one question.
It's been an hour and 7 fucking minutes of just one question.
Can I just give one question? No, matter of fact, when I first dated Melanie, and I found Melanie, I said, hey, let me ask you one question. Do you have a clean AIDS history record? And she said yes, and I said, okay, you're a candidate. But anyway. No. No, but seriously, hey, I don't have Rob. I know you don't know. You don't necessarily do a lot of baseball. I just have one single question about baseball. It was amazing. First of all, do you think that the Mets were just working with the Astros and just being like, "Yo, we're gonna let go of DeGrom. We'll let his ass go down to the Rangers because we know the Rangers don't mean shit in your division. We'll bring on Verlander because how well did that work out for the Houston Astros that we would let him go to a team that we'll probably never really see a whole hell of a lot of, and I don't even think they get back to the NLCS. So it's almost kind of like we put him in a parking spot that nobody cares about. They put DeGrom over in a parking spot nobody cares about. It was a clean wash for the Astros. And we saved ourselves $43 million a year, and yet we still haven't started working. Mike, I know you're a baseball guy. Gonzo, I know you're a baseball guy. How perfect did that work out for the Astros, honestly?
First of all, I would say the Mets probably did call the Astros and say, "Oh, hey, we just want to make sure it's okay with you if we send DeGrom over here."
Hey, I think they did.
Go ahead, Mike.
I mean, the Mets thing is like, I mean, they just flipped it. They just flipped it for a healthier version of Jacob deGrom. I mean, I'm not saying that they're equivalent to each other, but they're damn near pretty much, 1A, 1B when it comes to pitchers in the league. But I wouldn't sleep on the Rangers. I wouldn't sleep on the Rangers at all. I think they won 68 games last year, which isn't impressive whatsoever.
They got a good manager now.
They have a great manager now. And you're also bringing in guys who are just insanely expensive and insanely talented. You have all the guys in the world. You have Corey Seager, you have Simeon, now you have Jacob deGrom, you have Jack Leiter coming up at some point. That's going to be the best 1-2 punch in baseball with Leiter and deGrom. That's going to be a lot of fun. And they have a great farm system.
Wait. Will you say that? You think that's going to be better than Valdez and Javier?
Yes. 110%.
Because I think a lot of people overlook
Jack Leiter
and Javier, what they mean.
Jack Leiter is the future of baseball, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, that kid is phenomenal. I watched him all the time in Vanderbilt, and it was just so much fun watching that kid ball. So, I mean, that kid's a people's people. He's a champion at heart. Him and deGrom, I mean, as long as deGrom can stay healthy, they're the best 1-2 punch in baseball.
So I understand where you're coming from because I do like Jack Leiter, I do. But when I look at Javier and the 2 no-hitters he was associated with, one being against the Yankees in the regular season, and then one being in the World Series of all places. I just don't know how you can speculate on a guy who has done jack shit as of right now versus somebody who's actually accomplished or been a part of 2 no-hitters that he was primarily responsible for. Number 1 against the Yankees at a pivotal moment, and then number 2 at the biggest stage there is. And then you're going to tell me Jack Leiter is the future of baseball, and the guy hasn't even thrown a fucking pitch yet. I think it's premature, and I think it's premature on your part, and I think it just doesn't have evidence. I don't think it has Major League Baseball, top echelon baseball warranties.
First of all,
I think it's a hollow remark. I think it's a hollow remark. I think it's a hollow remark on potential that you see in him. And potential is like assholes.
Right.
Everybody has it, but not everybody uses it.
Right. Okay. So guess what? Bar with a bar. I'm gonna hit you with this one. Rob Scott gonna like this one. I like that the second year boy left your team. You don't want to talk about the 1-2 best punch in baseball being Verlander and Scherzer. You don't want to talk about that. You want to talk about some random motherfuckers on the Astros. That's
you want to talk about Scherzer. I'm not saying Scherzer's not good, but
what?
Again, was Scherzer in the World Series? Was Scherzer a part of a no-hitter? Get off Max Scherzer's
won a World Series. Yes, he has.
That dude's older
than look, if you want to talk about it, if you want to talk about the facts, Scherzer actually whooped the Astros in the fucking World Series and won a championship. So I don't know.
Again, but how long ago was that, Mike? Get out of the past.
How long ago? What does that mean?
I thought we were talking about Jack Leiter. How did you go from Jack Leiter to Scherzer?
You're talking about the best 1-2 punches in baseball. You are talking about the best 1-2 punches.
The next 1-2.
No, fuck that, Jay. You can't out-talk it. I'll talk all day.
I'm talking it. I'm quoting you.
You are saying that the Houston Astros have the best 1-2 punch in baseball. I said, hey, what about Verlander and what about Scherzer now?
No.
You just won a World Series. The other guy has won a World Series.
No, your initial comment was Leiter and Verlander best 1-2. That's ridiculous.
And I'm telling you right now, that's my personal opinion. You want to say?
I know it's your personal opinion.
I asked you. You said, why isn't it these two?
You never mentioned Scherzer. You said Scherzer after the fact.
Why are you being biased? Why didn't you say Scherzer and Verlander?
Because you brought up Verlander and Leiter, and I was only talking on
Verlander and Leiter. On the same
I didn't know you were talking about Verlander Scherzer. Had you said Verlander Scherzer, I'd be like, you know what?
I think you just want another
I'll give you that. But you were talking Verlander and Leiter. You didn't say nothing about Scherzer until I started talking about Leiter. What are we talking about?
I threw a no-hitter. You know who else did? Alec Mills. Where's Alec Mills right now?
I don't know about Alec Mills. Was Alec Mills in the World Series? What the fuck are you talking about? Again, no merit, no basis, hollowed out.
Okay, but here's what's fucking
what
crazy.
You want me to
Here's
say?
what's crazy.
But, hey,
Chris
Gonzo
made a face at you, bro. You want to go, oh, you've never been to a World Series. Oh, Scherzer was in 2019. Oh, but that was forever ago.
Wait a minute. You brought up Scherzer after the fact. You can't just throw shit in there out of fucking nowhere. Stay with the original fucking viewpoint.
Nah, backtail it up. Backtail it up. Play with your mama, bitch. Play with your mama, not me.
I don't play with my mama. I haven't played with my mama since I was about 6 weeks old when I was sucking on the titty. That was a good titty suck off because it had great vitamin D milk. I'm just saying, you can't know. Look, if there's anybody in this podcast that thinks differently, please step forward. But the comment that I was clearly responding to was when he said Leiter and Verlander. Now, I was commenting.
They're not on the same team, Jay.
On that. Now, somewhere down the line, he didn't like that viewpoint. So he brought in his boy Scherzer in there and wants to throw him in the mix and wants to say some shit. I'm sorry. I don't play that.
Hey,
hold on.
Hey, AP, anytime that Jamie Lovin is on the show, the Astros will come up in the conversation.
Because Gonzo, and you can back up the tape.
Fake news out there, and I'm not going to
love it.
Fake news.
All I said to you was.
You said a lot of things.
All I said to you was, and I'm gonna go for it real slow. So just listen for me, okay?
Go real slow. And don't leave nothing out because you left Scherzer out earlier, and now you want to bring
I'll recap everything I told you. I will recap everything I told you. So sip on your Astros cup, live your life, stick the trophy up your ass, and just listen to me for like.
Oh, I'm not gonna stick it up my ass. It's on my man.
He's still talking.
So beautiful.
Rob ain't even listening no more.
So grandiose.
Rob in his own little place with that redheaded shorty. What's the word? Anyways, all I said is that Jack Leiter and Jacob deGrom, Jay McLovin, not Justin Verlander. I don't know where you got that. Jacob deGrom, sir, and Jack Leiter, the best prospect in baseball, are one day going to be the key word. Going to be.
Oh, it's a very key word.
The best 1-2 punch in baseball. You bring up two motherfuckers that have over a 4 ERA on your team. So I said, why would you say them instead of two guys?
First of all,
that's
you
don't let me finish. You don't let me finish. No, fuck you. No. I asked you. I said, why did you say two Astros players instead of two guys who not only won championships, but have just recently both won Cy Youngs, who have some of the best credentials in all of baseball in history, first ballot Hall of Famers without a shadow of a doubt, and former teammates in Detroit in Verlander and Scherzer. But you mentioned two random motherfuckers on the Astros because they threw a no-hitter one time.
First of all, it wasn't two, crazy fuck. It was one. It was Javier that I mentioned. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't think you know.
Who's the two?
Get off the LSD. Get off the crack cocaine. Mike, methamphetamines are not the truth.
Let me ask you something right now. Are either of those guys on the Houston Astros that you named better than either of the two motherfuckers on the Mets right now? Or even I'll even ask you this: are they even better than Jacob deGrom?
Being better than Verlander and Scherzer. Okay, that's a tricky question.
It's not.
I'm gonna tell you what. It's a tricky question. I'll tell you what. It's a tricky question.
Is the sky blue?
It's a tricky question.
Is the sky blue?
I'll educate you. If you won't listen, then you can go sit in the fucking corner.
No.
Okay, so you don't want to listen. Thank you. Get the fuck out of here with your fake ass news.
Get the fuck out of here. All right.
No, I will tell you, but you don't want to fucking listen.
I don't want to hear it.
It's a tricky question, but
it's
you
not.
don't fucking listen.
It's not.
I listen to you say every little thing just now, and I didn't say nothing until the very end.
You talked the whole time.
Let me ask you this. How many times, and I love Verlander, by the way.
What?
I love me Verlander.
I love what?
Okay, never mind. Fuck. Why am I
go ahead.
You ain't gonna listen. All right, man. Y'all be good. I'm out of here.
What? How many times what?
No, you good. I'm
Exactly. Bring his ass back. How many times what?
All right. I love Verlander. I do. Again, Houston Astro. Owe a lot to the man in the regular season. Cy Young, no doubt about it. Regular season. But what's Verlander's worst attribute?
Probably the World Series.
What's his worst attribute?
Probably the World Series.
Goddamn right. All day. If you watched anything and learned anything about Verlander, he doesn't perform his best. And matter of fact, he got a win. This was the first time he's ever gotten a win out of what? 3 or 4 or 5 appearances, got one win. One fucking win. And he played on a great offensive team, on a great defensive team.
He almost
don't tell me that Verlander's his quote-unquote best ever when you got Valdez, who's done what Valdez has done for a hot minute and has won better in the postseason, better in the regular season than Verlander. Now, again, Verlander has a very long track record across. He's got a few Cy Youngs in his name. No doubt about it. I'm not going to take it away from the man. But I don't give 2 fucks about Cy Young. What I care about is postseason performance. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares about regular season. All we care about is who gets the fucking Quan in the fucking World Series. And Valdez has a better. I will take. Matter of fact, I did not care that we let go of Verlander. Matter of fact, I prayed that we would let go of Verlander because I knew what I had in Valdez and what I have in Javier is much, much, much better than what you guys got over at the Mets. Because at the end of the day, Mike. You do that. No, I'm not done yet. Am I done?
I hear you. I'm just saying. I don't like the Mets.
Fuck. I got better things to do in my life. You want to listen or you want me to get the fuck out? I'll get the fuck out. I really don't care. I'm trying to finish my statement with this. At the end of the day, I swear to you, and if I'm wrong, I will tell you across the world, I will send you a bottle of Gentleman's Jack to you personally. I will send it to you. I'm telling everybody this. I guarantee you, the Astros will make it to the World Series before the Mets do with your 1-2 of Scherzer, Verlander, Leiter, whoever the fuck else you want to throw in there. We'll be back to the World Series. You won't. And I'll send you a bottle of I'll send you a bottle of Gentleman's Jack if that doesn't happen.
Jay,
that's how much I believe in my 1-2 versus your 1-2.
That's a whole team.
History is a fucking great thing. History is a great fucking thing. You know what's better than history? Present day. You know what's better than present day? Possibly future.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me get this right. You're saying Valdez and Javier is better than Scherzer?
I'm saying that what I'm saying is, do I think that they're better than Verlander and Scherzer regular season? No, because we know what Verlander is still capable of in the regular season. What I'm saying is that regular season's great and all, and it's a beautiful thing. But when we get to the postseason, my 1-2 will outdo your 1-2. And I said it, and I believe it, and I'll put a bottle of Gentleman Jack on it.
Jamie Govin, I also want to point out, you said when we make the World Series. I'm a Cubs fan, sir. My beard is going to look like yours when we make the World Series. So that's a whole different conversation in itself.
Yeah.
But nah, fuck that. Fuck that. Because, I'm going to tell you what, and this is why I disagree with you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I think you're taking an instance of the playoffs instead of looking at the whole board. You're looking at a span of, let's say, if you pitch from the wild card, maybe the wild card at earliest, and then obviously to the World Series, maybe those two will pitch maybe like 16 times combined versus 60 plus times over an entire season with 30 plus starts each. You got to look at the whole board and how these guys look at their longevity. And I'm looking at your boy Verlander had a 1.75 ERA this season. You got Max Scherzer had 2.29. I mean, that's insane. Records 11-5, 18-4, which I gotta give credit to the Astros. A lot of that was because they were just killing it offensively. I mean, the whips are under 1 innings, over 175 by Verlander. And honestly, if Max Scherzer didn't get injured, he'd have over 170 as well. But he only had 145. But you can't, you got to take injuries into account. But those other two, Valdez is nice. I like Valdez. But when you look at both of those two guys looking at franchise generational Hall of Fame players, that's what they are at the end of the day. That's what they are. And then you look at the other two, and it's kind of like Valdez to me. Valdez is an ace. I like Valdez a lot. But those two are the 2 best pitchers in baseball. The 2 best pitchers in baseball.
Okay, and at the end of the day, does that get you a World Series title?
But that's not the conversation.
No, I never said that. No. That's my conversation.
Here's the thing, though. Getting a World Series title comes down to more than just 2 pitchers. That's a whole team.
No, that's true. It does come down to more than that, but we also know that Valdez's record in postseason is better than Verlander. This has nothing to do with regular season. Regular season is a whole other matter. I'm just specifically talking about postseason. And also, look, come on, guys. You're talking about guys who got 15, 20 years in the league. Valdez got 2 years in the league, 3 years, maybe 4 years tops. He hasn't been in all that long.
He's been there for 6 years.
Fine. You want to go 5? I'll go 5 with you. Give the man a little bit of time. He's going to take over from Verlander. He's going to be the next. He is after.
I'm not saying
right behind him. But what I'm saying is, these guys are young. You're talking about 2 guys that are 2 years away from AARP, Cars in the Golden Corral, and a half price discount at the movie theater. Calm down.
Going back to the argument you just tried to use against Slider.
But what I'm saying is, I would rather have Valdez and Javier. I'm so beautiful with that. And I'll put that against your 2 any day of the week. I really don't care. We done destroyed the Mets last season with Scherzer, with DeGrom. We'll destroy them again with Verlander and Scherzer and whoever else you want to throw. That's going to beat you no matter what. And we're going to beat you. And I hope that Valdez goes against Valdez will go against Verlander, and I hope that Javier goes against Scherzer. And when they destroy you, I want this conversation on record because I'm going to repeat it verbatim when it comes around. I promise you. And I want my bottle of Jim and Jack when the Mets are at home sipping on cognac on the couch and we're hitting home runs in the fucking World Series and throwing fucking no-hitters.
It don't take much to destroy my team. I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan, so I don't know what you're talking about with the Mets.
We're not talking about Reds. I don't know why we're throwing that unless you want to put that as a buffer conversation. Right now, me and Mike got a conversation going on, and don't deflect from it. I'm going to get your fucking
hold on.
Yeah,
I won't deflect from it. Okay, you just said that you can't compare Valdez to Verlander because Verlander and Scherzer's been in the league. Let me finish. Let me finish.
But make sure you put my context correctly.
If you let me finish, you might see the damn context. The context is you said that Verlander and Scherzer have been in the league over 20 years, so you can't compare Valdez to them. But basically you went back to potential, which we just said, you can't use that for other people.
Well, we know that Leiter has potential. We also know that what Javier has done and what Valdez has done is no longer potential. So what are you talking about? I'm lost in the sauce on that one, and I apologize. My ignorance. Maybe I don't follow so well.
Javier and Valdez can't even hold fucking Scherzer's ball sack.
Gonzo.
Valdez can't hold Scherzer's ball sack.
Fuck this. Trey Turner just signed with the Phillies.
What are you basing that off of? He can't hold his ball sack. What are you basing that off of? Because that don't make no sense.
He's been in the league for 5 years. Scherzer's been in the league for 20. Same thing you're trying to say about Leiter.
Trey Turner.
And how many World Series does Scherzer have?
2.
And how many does Valdez have? I'm pretty sure he has 1, doesn't he? Did he get one with? He got one with the Mets. I know that. No, he didn't get one with the Mets. He got one. Washington. I apologize. He got one with Washington. Was there one before that I'm not tracking?
Maybe he had 1.
I'm tracking 1. And I'm tracking. I believe Valdez has, I think 2.
Oh, but isn't 1 a question mark?
Shut your mouth. No, that only I'd have to do research. Damn it. Okay, you know what? Let's do a whole show on this because I really got to do some research because I got to go back and do some research to give a better argument on this topic. So can we? I tell you what, Mike, I love you. You know I love your ass. Gonzo, you're like my fucking brother that sometimes we get along, sometimes we don't. But Daddy Gonzalez comes in here and kicks both our asses. What I'm saying is, let's put a pin on that one because that's a badass topic to talk about. Let's come back and revisit that.
Trey Turner signed with the Phillies.
Wow. What was the year? 11 years? 300? Damn, son. Shit. How old is Trey Turner? If you don't mind me asking, I don't know the age. How old is Trey Turner?
He's 30. 30-something.
Damn, so they got him at 41. Is that a good idea to go 11 years on that with him?
No.
At 41 at 300 mil? I think if he's 30, I think 7 or 8 would be more effective. I don't know. Am I wrong or right?
I don't think that's a good contract. I think there's obviously going to be opt-outs in it, but it's something. That's the market. That's the market now with the Bryce Harper, Manny Machado shit. So,
shit. I mean, so now what does that mean for Bogarts and Correa?
Correa's gonna be a
They're
Cub.
gonna want Quan too now.
Correa's gonna be a Cub. That's all I know.
Yeah. You know what I know? We got Pena for half the price, and he kicked ass. Fuck yeah. Suck on those nuts, Correa.
I am. I was reading AP. He talking about Rob just working and listening to this man. I did just get caught up working.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I'll be honest with you, Mike. When the Astros lost Correa, man, hey, that was a big loss, man. I felt that one. Like I was really depressed because I like Correa. And I didn't know what to think about Pena when he came up. But, bro, that rookie season that Pena put up just made me feel better, man. It really did. It made me feel better. I wasn't sure what Pena was going to do.
Placing my bet.
What, on the ball of gentleman Jack?
Hold on. I will be back.
What a time, man. Damn.
You guys and your baseball conversations.
Man, who would have thought one little sentence about baseball was going to go that? I didn't expect it to go that deep. I just like, holy shit.
I do, because Jay, you're very serious about the Astros. If somebody says the Astros,
It's not even that. It's not even that, man. It's like, bro.
No, Jay, it's that you're sensitive about the team. It is that. It ain't no way around it. I've seen Jay go from 0 to 100 real quick. Don't you talk? Hey, he might allow you to talk shit about the Cowboys or the Rockets. You bet not say nothing about his Astros.
Man, hey, listen. I think you know what? I think a lot of it had to do with I just grew up on baseball. I think that was my first love. And the Astros, I've just been an Astros fan since I was a baby, man. And then I think I got into football because my dad bought me a Cowboys jacket, and I just loved the star and everything. And I just got fascinated with the star. So then I became a Cowboy. And then my dad took me to my first Rockets game ever back in '86. And I just love the Rockets. I mean, that's how it's at. Crazy how life works, man.
I just got to watch the GOAT up close and personal.
Man, I could only imagine. I would have loved, I swear to God, man, when Jordan was playing with the Bulls, I wanted to go to one of those games so bad. I just wanted to see Jordan play so bad. Because, man, back them days, man, we all feared Jordan. No doubt about it, man. Everybody feared fucking Jordan. Nobody, man, when you were going to go up against the Bulls, you were like, good luck on that shit. Like, you even know when the finals happened, you knew you just expected the Bulls to win.
Yeah, man. I mean, it felt good knowing that we had a nuclear weapon on our team. I mean, watching the Bulls, and I can still remember this from being a kid, watching Bulls games. Even if we were out of it, having Michael Jordan, you always felt like you was in the game.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, fourth quarter time is money time. It's money time. And I didn't know the extent of how much of a shit talker he was, but man, we knew he was talking some shit. Like I remember that game vividly. Guy was talking shit he hit that jump and got the foul. He turned around, told the crowd, y'all better get that boy some help.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, that's true, man. Hey, that's true. And then you know, God, I really thought when the Jazz, you know, when Mike hit the game-winning shot, out on that last,
hit it on Russell,
bro. I was like, damn. Is there anything this man just like literally like when the ball was in Mike's hands, it was gonna go in the hoop somehow.
I remember having anxiety watching that game because I won't lie to you. I mean, that's why I don't respect, of course, Karl Malone, what he's done in his personal life, but on the court, I had so much respect for him and John Stockton. I mean, that was the ultimate 1-2 punch. That pick and roll game, the way that, Karl Malone can hit that 17-foot. I mean, watching him looking at it from Chicago eyes, it's like, damn, this dude is automatic. And when they need a three, Stockton is there. Hornacek is there. It's like, damn. So I knew we was going to have to see Utah again. And Utah played a very tough series. I mean, I thought it was going to, go to game 7, and it was like, and I mean, to see even, because it came down to the wire, people talk about the shot, but they neglect one of the most important things that Michael Jordan did, and the way he played weak side defense on Karl Malone and stole that ball, which is another, shout out to him, because everybody remembers Jordan, the offensive player. People forget he was the greatest two-way player to ever play a game. So for him to get that clutch steal, to know that, okay, Karl Malone is not even going to be paying attention to me. I'm going to be able to get a clean swipe at this ball. And then not only to have the balls to go for that, but then to come down the court, give him the ball, and clear everybody out. That say, if we're going to win because of me. If we're going to lose because of me. But ain't nobody else taking this shot. And that was one of the things I used to hold against LeBron. It's like, dude, you have to go out there, and sometimes you have to look at your team and say, I'm the number one guy. Get the hell out of my way.
Right. I'll tell you this, going back to obviously the 2-year sabbatical that he took in Houston to get the championships. Am I saying that Houston would have beat Jordan? No. But I'm going to tell you this, that I think Houston would have gave them a hell of a fucking go. I'll tell you that.
I think it
would. I would not be surprised if Houston stole one. It wouldn't surprise me, because that team that Houston had, though, honestly, our 3-point shooting, what Olajuwon drag. I mean, that was a damn good team too. So I mean, I don't know if you just automatically dismiss Houston, but I think that would have been a hell of a.
I don't want to say I did. I don't want to say. I don't want to say I would dismiss Houston. I just think the Bulls guards were better. I think that's what lost it for Orlando, because Shaq and Hakeem canceled each other out. Houston guards showed up. You're not doing that against Mike and Scotty.
Right. Well, wait. Was Scotty a guard? I thought Scotty was a forward.
Yeah, but Scotty guarded guards.
Yeah, because Scotty was pretty. He was pretty. He was universal. But again, man.
Even against the Lakers, I mean, Magic had a game one, and then they said, "Okay, hey Mike, worry about scoring. Scotty, go get him."
But what if Scotty was going to go put himself on Cassell or Kenny Smith or whatever? What would they have done about Robert Horry? Because Robert Horry, we know what he can do behind the 3-point. Back in the day, Robert Horry was the Klay Thompson of 3-point shooting.
That's where you have the Horace Grants and the Dennis Rodmans of the world. We had something for him.
Yeah,
we had something for him.
And then what would their answer have been for Clyde Drexler?
Michael Jordan.
So okay, all that's great. Now who do you put on Houston? I mean, who do you put on Olajuwon?
I mean, Olajuwon's gonna get his, but Mike's gonna get his. I mean, you're gonna of course put Longley on him, but he would have killed Luke Longley. But
I just think, at the end of the day, man, I agree with you.
I'm not saying.
I agree with you.
I'm not saying it wouldn't have been competitive, Jay.
It kind of sucks, right? I mean, I like the fact that Houston got a squad.
Houston had a squad. Don't get me wrong, but that's one of the things that I say. If you look at, you look at people like Sam Cassell, you look at the Kenny Smith, they killed Dennis Scott. Now, I mean, did one of those games in that series, Kenny Smith went off for like 7 threes.
Oh yeah,
so.
Oh yeah, that was back when the 3-point wasn't a big deal, but Houston was hitting like 7 or 8 threes. And if you were hitting 7 or 8 threes, I mean, back in those days, that was big.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's nothing. They hit like 33 a game or whatever. But
they also, to their credit, they didn't get the shots that these guys get today. A lot of people have the green light from the 3-point line, even if they're not Steph Curry in today's league. Think about it. I think me and Chris talked about this one day as we were talking about our favorite players. What if Reggie Miller would have been able to put up 15 threes a game?
I think they should have let Reggie Miller put up 15 threes a game.
You gotta think about stuff like that. They didn't get that. Back in the day, it was so traditional. As a coach, you taught for your team to play inside out.
Right.
Nowadays,
back in the day, though, too, that we had a true low post. There's no really, in my opinion, there's no really true low post, in basketball like it was back then. You know what I mean?
And also back in the day, you could close out. Or now, if you even get close on a closeout on a 3-pointer, you're getting called for a foul because you got to give them space to land and
right.
Not to mention, you got away with hand checking back in the day.
You can hand check too.
I'm telling you, man. Look, nothing wrong. I don't want to take anything away from the game of basketball, the way it's played today, and the stars and the people that are playing. But I miss that old school basketball. I miss that, man. The ball was on the inside, then it gets kicked out, but then it goes. I miss all that. I miss the physicality. I miss all of that, and I just feel like now it's
the same way with football. I mean,
exactly. No, trust me, it's definitely the same way with football.
You look at football, man. I've seen one play. I want to say the college play. I can't remember what teams were playing, but the quarterback started running with the ball, and once you leave the pocket, you are now a runner. And the guy hit him, and I don't think he really came in head first. It's just that, of course, our helmets might touch from time to time. I'm not intentionally trying to hit you with my helmet, but it's a physical game. And I look at some of these hits that these guys take, and they're calling, a roughing the pass, or they're calling, unsportsmanlike conduct. And I'm like, dude, that was a legit hit. I'm supposed to be able to hit the hell out of this guy. What the hell is a defenseless receiver? Everybody's defenseless when you're running with the ball.
Hello?
That's not my fault.
Hello? and I think a lot of that, I understand they're trying to quote unquote make the sport safer.
That's not a safe sport.
But back in the day, you were paying hundreds of millions of dollars because of the fact that the sport wasn't safe.
That's like telling a boxer you can't use the hook because the hook damages people's brain.
Exactly. And again, hey, no, that's true.
Hold on, Chris. Let me shut up before they hear that and they decide to make that up.
But I know you saw that picture I put in the group post that one day where it had like two cowboys and they were being mauled up by the Eagles or whatever. And the caption read, in today's football, this would be 3 flags and 2 ejections. The whole point of the matter is I feel like we've gone from playing football like football was intended to damn near we are not far off from flag football. The way that they cater the game. Why even have pads on? Just fuck the pads, fuck tackling, just go straight. And then watch this. I'm gonna pay you $300 million to go play flag football. Okay, that's perfect.
Speaking of boxing, did you see Tyson Fury over the weekend?
First of all, great fight. I have to say this. I
missed the Fury fight. Who did he fight?
Tyson don't get enough credit. Tyson Fury is a bad mother. You shut your mouth.
Dude, I'm not saying anything. I did not catch.
I can't think of the guy's name.
It was his third time. It was his third time fighting him.
Yeah.
But dude's another English fighter, and man, I'm glad the referee stopped it.
Derek Chisora.
Yeah, I'm glad the referee stopped it, dude. It was getting ugly.
Tyson was just killed. I didn't see the fight, but I'm guessing Tyson Fury
was 1 point, man. The way he moves his head, dude, you don't think somebody that big and that tall can move that quick laterally. You know what I mean? But that wasn't even the highlight. The highlight is what happened after the fight.
Oh yeah,
because he has formally called out Usyk.
Yeah, he didn't just call out Usyk; he called out Joyce as well.
Yeah, but Usyk was there, and
Joyce was there too. Yeah, both of them were there.
Yeah, but Usyk came to the ring, and Usyk had a face of "I ain't worried." Like,
did you see Joyce come up to the ring as well?
No, I didn't see Joyce. Did he came up to the ring?
Yeah, he came up to the ring too.
I don't think Joyce want them problems though.
So how long do you think it'll be before? Because correct me if I'm wrong. Once he fights Usyk, if he beats Usyk, then the heavyweight is unified.
Yeah,
so how long do you think we're gonna have to wait? Number one, for that fight, and number two, are we looking at obviously the latter or Fury getting the unification and winning the fight?
It depends on how long. Depends on because Fury says he's gonna have to have a surgery on his elbow.
Mm-hmm.
So they were looking for maybe like March, but I think it's going to be closer to probably. I think maybe more like May or June.
Yeah, and if not,
so you think May or June of 23, we get the unification fight?
If not May or June, maybe September, just to make sure.
How much money will the unification fight draw?
Oh, they're gonna make money because they're gonna fight overseas. I mean, if you're fighting,
I'm about fighting in Saudi.
Oh, they're gonna fight. Yeah, they definitely gonna make some money. I mean, look at how much money Mayweather is making right now in Dubai just for doing scrimmage. I mean,
where would they make more money, Qatar or Saudi or Dubai?
You're gonna make money over there in all them.
No matter where you go. I know,
Yeah.
I know they make money, but was there one specific area in the Middle East that pays more than the other?
Probably Saudi. I would say probably Saudi, and that's just because Saudi is known for putting on spectacles. I mean, not to mention the concerts that they have out there. DJ Khaled was just in Saudi for the first time. But you look at what WWE does in Saudi. I mean, Saudi is bringing sports entertainment to their people, so and they're willing to pay, which is why WWE go through all that politics that they go through because Saudi got the paper.
Dude, they fought in London outside. It was 40 degrees outside, but the wind chill was it was like 38, they said.
And they were
fighting outside, and there was almost 70,000 people there, sold out.
Yes, sir. I think what it is right now, the heavyweight division, because it's ran by European champions, they have such a following outside of the States. That's where they're making their money at. I mean, you selling out Wimbledon and all that stuff, man. Yeah, Fury.
And that's what that was. That was Fury giving that guy a big payday.
Yeah,
that was the third time they'd fought. They're pretty good friends, and it was because Fury had everything to lose in that fight. I mean, if he would got caught and got beat, you know what I mean? He didn't have nothing to gain by fighting that guy.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they get it out the way because I mean, and as crazy as it is to say it, Deontay Wilder might be the next contender. So.
Right. Damn.
Because I don't know. I'm really mad that we didn't get to see Fury versus Anthony Joshua though. I would have loved to see that fight because they're two technical guys. I think Fury would have won the fight, but
Fury said he tried to get that fight done, and he went.
To me, man, and that's one of the things that you know, and our viewers can let me know if they agree. I believe that's what's losing fans in boxing is because people are not seeing the matches that they want to see.
I mean, how many times has Fury fought Wilder though? It seems like it's been quite a few times.
Three times.
How many times he won fight Wilder and beat him? Because he beat him every damn time.
He beat him twice, and the first fight ended in a draw.
Okay.
I love to explain it because like I said before, everybody thought he killed that man. I thought Wilder killed Fury. In that 9 seconds, that man popped up like the Undertaker. And not just popped up like the Undertaker, proceeded to whoop his ass.
But what do you think took so long to finally get engaged?
You said what now?
I said, what do you think took him so long to finally pop up and get engaged and do that? Like, why did he do that? He
was engaged the whole fight. And the thing with Deontay Wilder, what he lacks in skill, he makes up for it in the equalizer. And that's that right hand, hence the name Bronze Bomber, because he really throws bombs. And he just happened to catch Fury with a bomb. And normally any normal boxer would have been lights out. Would have been lights out. I mean, we see what Deontay Wilder just did. How long it been, Chris, since he had a fight? It had been about a year or two, right?
Yep.
And he comes back and knocks the guy out. What, in the first round? Well, no, earlier round. I don't know if it was the first, but it was an earlier round. And I mean, the way he knocked the guy out, he just fought. That guy might not box again for a while because I mean it was bad. I mean, when you see people arms clench up like this, it's a neural problem there somewhere.
Oh hell yeah.
You know, so you know that's Deontay Wilder's claim to fame, but Tyson Fury is so skilled, he's so strong. I mean, his head movement is amazing, and the way that he knows how to get under boxer's skin. I mean, this dude is standing in the corner with his hand on both ropes and just dodge you. That's frustrating. That somebody with a target this big you can't hit.
Oh yeah.
Did you see any of the UFC Saturday night?
I didn't catch any of that.
Oh, dude, that main event between Wonder Boy Thompson and Kevin Holland, dude, them guys went at it. It was real good.
Who won?
Thompson ended up winning. It was a real good. It was a real good fight. Man, they went out. It was just a striking battle.
Yeah, man. I think UFC like boxing, man. They need to have a sit down. Like they're their VPs, their heads of talent, their heads of whatever, need to sit down. I think they need to put more order to it. Like I said, it's all over the place. You don't know what to watch. Am I watching a WBC? Am I watching a WBF? It's so many titles in UFC, so many titles in boxing. It's kind of hard to know who to keep up with.
Yeah, and Fury did mention fighting Wilder again in Vegas.
Mm.
He said after he beat Usyk, he was going to fight Wilder in Vegas.
I don't know if I like to see that fight again though.
I don't see Wilder beating him. I just after the way he's looked the last two, I don't know if Wilder can beat him.
I mean, I don't think anybody could at this point beat Tyson Fury, like you said.
Nah,
I think when that unification bout happens, like what Gonzo's saying, if it happens around May or June, I mean, when's the last time the belt was unified? It's been a hot minute, hasn't it?
Since Lennox Lewis.
Yeah, it's been a long damn time. Wow, what a time, man.
Hey, what'd you guys think about the Bengals beating the Chiefs?
Wow. That's all I can say about that game. Wow. I loved it when Mahomes just banged the crap out of his helmet on that last play when they decided to go for the field goal and missed. I mean, he was so upset, man, infuriated. But Burrow, God, somebody give Burrow some cred, man. The dude played a hell of a good game. And Chase, come on. Company.
And he's 3-0.
Just a good game.
He's 3-0 head-to-head against Mahomes now.
Yeah, I think, and let's be honest, do we now think that the Bengals are over the hangover that came off the Super Bowl loss, and now they're rounding back into form to make another heavy run?
Oh, I think so. I've thought ever since last few weeks they've really started playing a lot better. You've seen T. Higgins step up when Chase was out, and then yeah. To me, it just comes down to that offensive line. If you can give Burrow enough time to get rid of the ball, that they have enough weapons on the offense, and then they don't have a terrible defense. And that defense, man, that they found something that really gives Mahomes trouble. The Bengals have,
right.
and they've been able to do it over and over.
Now, I will say it has gotten a lot better, but the only weakness I really truly see in the Bengals, it's a true weakness, is that O-line. I still think it's kind of a weakness for them, but it has gotten better since last year, and I think that would be the difference maker in this year. Is hopefully the O-line has improved enough.
And I think one thing that's helped the Bengals is they revamped that offensive line, but basically had all new guys. So as the season went on this year, you've seen that offensive line start to gel and get better.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, the Bengals just got the Chiefs number, man. They just got their number.
Baby, I got your number.
Usyk has a chance. I think Usyk has a chance. But he's gonna have to just outbox. He's gonna have to use his boxing, and because he's gonna definitely be the lot smaller guy.
Yeah, I think, like I said, when you look at the AFC, there's a lot of teams that still have a lot of intrigue in them. I still think Miami has a lot to offer, although the game against the 49ers, a lot of people weren't too happy with Tua, and for rightfully so. I don't know, man. I think Miami's there. I think, obviously, KC is there. The Bengals are there. Should be interesting to see how that AFC, and don't discount. I'm not gonna say the Jets are there, but I think the Jets are on their way to getting there at some point.
I think in the AFC, I think it's gonna come down to the Bengals, Chiefs, and Bills.
My only issue with the Bills is going to be that defense because of the injuries. Now I think Von Miller's going to try to rush himself back and get back into things. I hope that's not going to be to his detriment because sometimes I feel like when you rush yourself back.
He's out at least 3 more games. They put him on IR.
Yeah, which is good because that's exactly where he needs to be because the last thing you want to do is rush him back only to see him go back down again. And I think they could survive enough to get to at least the wild card spot. if not, maybe even possibly the first place spot, because we know that I think the Bengals were what? Is it a game? Were they a game behind Miami? If I'm not mistaken, in the standings. So they should be they may be even or tied up for first place in their division.
Yeah, they're tied up with Baltimore. I mean, not Baltimore. I'm sorry. They're
tied up
I
with
was just
Miami.
looking at it. Yeah, tied with Miami.
Tied up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Woo.
I was right. Yeah, the Bengals are tied up with the Ravens. I was right.
Bills
No, we
are
were
ahead of
talking about
Miami.
the Bills in Miami.
No, they were 8-4.
Huh?
Ravens and Bengals both 8-4. Oh, you said the Bills.
Yeah,
Thought you
Bills
said
are.
the
Yeah, we were
Bengals.
talking about the Bills in Miami.
Bills
sorry.
are in first place.
Who
Bills
are?
are 9-3. Dolphins are 8-4.
Yeah, Bills still in
Wow.
first
So
place.
Bills were able to come from behind and take over first.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then you said the Ravens and Bengals are now tied in their division.
Correct. At 8-4.
Man, I tell you, man, that AFC has got some divisions that are really, really battling it out, man. It's going to be – I like this football season, guys. I don't know about you, man, but I really like this season. I like the fact that I don't know if there's a clear-cut, oh, yeah, this team is this. I think there's a lot of teams out there that can make their case for getting the Super Bowl. I mean, I think it's going to be a good playoffs. I got to be honest with you.
There's a lot of parity in the league this year. I mean, there's really not that one dominant team that you can say is for sure going to be in the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl. I think there's you have multiple teams in each conference that could get there.
And I think the interesting thing is the NFC South with Tampa and Atlanta with those crappy records that they're supporting, but still trying to battle it out for who can make it into the playoffs and who doesn't get into the playoffs.
Yeah, and all you have to do is get there.
Question. I heard since we're talking about Tampa, I've heard rumors where and I don't know if it's true, but they were saying Tom might come back and try to go join up with Bill. Is that true, or do y'all think that's just a bunch of BS?
I don't think it's true. I haven't really seen it from like any
credible sources.
But only way I can see him going back to New England if he done one of them things like some players do and sign like a 1-day contract and to retire
and just retire out, right?
Yeah, but I don't see him going back and playing. I mean, to me, you leave Tampa to go back to New England, you're going to a worse roster, or maybe equal roster. But honestly, I think Tampa's more underperforming than it is they have a bad roster. Their defense isn't playing like it did last year. You have more weapons in Tampa than what you do on the offensive side of the ball than what you have in New England. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense.
Honestly, though, I think it's bad from several standpoints. I think if Tom was to go back and try to do one more year and be with the Patriots, I think it would show as a desperation move on him, which I think further would make his, be a chink in his legacy. Not that it's going to destroy it, but it just kind of leaves an ugly taste at the end of the legacy as if he was to try to do that. Because number one, if he goes there and doesn't win, it just looks like desperation. Number two, if you're Bill and you take him on and you don't get it back with him, it looks bad on Bill. And then number three, ultimately, if you bring Tom in, it sets Mac Jones's confidence level or his passion to play for the Patriots back a little bit. I just think there's a lot of ramifications for bringing Tom in that would just go against everything the Bills are trying to rebuild or move on from.
Yeah, it don't make a lot of sense to bring him back, really. I mean,
I think before I bring Tom back, I try to find an offensive coordinator, though.
If you had a lot of weapons on the offensive side of the ball to where you're just missing a quarterback, okay, then I could see it more. But it's not like they have a lot of weapons on the offensive side of the ball.
Right.
So, and I don't know if they're sold that Jones is their guy, either. But I do think they got to do something. They got to do something on the offensive side of the ball. Their play calling don't make no sense half the time. And you can see Jones getting frustrated because he wants to throw the ball down the field. And if you watch that game the other day, was it? Yeah, not yesterday, but their last game. It was Thursday night, right? They played Thursday night?
Yeah. It was Thursday.
you're down like 2 possessions with like 10 minutes left, and it was like they just gave up. It was weird to see that out of a Bill Belichick team. It was like they weren't even trying to go down the field or you know what I mean, or to get back in that game. It was like they just conceded. Oh, we lost.
Hey, real quick, man. Couple of new things that I think just came out. Number one, Frankie's very upset that the Yankees gave Brian Cashman another 4-year deal. So it's going to be another 4 years under Cashman, which doesn't really make him exactly happy. Secondly, it looks like free agent Cristiano Ronaldo will sign a 2.5-year contract with Saudi Arabian side Al Nassr in a deal potentially worth $200 million. $200 million per season. The hell? $200 million per season. Damn, I wish I knew how to play soccer at a really good level.
Oh, don't you have to play one season?
I'm just saying, what world are we living in where a guy gets $200 million a season? I'm sorry. It blows my mind because no human being gets $200 million unless maybe, I don't know, who would you have? I don't even think Bezos or even Bill Gates makes $200 million a year. I don't know. I don't have their financials, but I'm just saying, holy ball sacks, Batman. Wow, God. That's just, to me,
A lot of money.
And he's what, 37? What if he played 3? God, he plays 3 years. That's what, 2? That's $600 million.
That's it. I'll play a quarter of a season.
Quarter my ass. I'll play one damn game. I don't think hey, Tony, I got to be honest with you. If you can make it a quarter season playing soccer, you're a badass mofo.
Hey, what,
I think,
that'd be 50 mil.
Gonzo, you put Jay McLovin's fat ass out on a soccer goal, and if he can make it down and back one time, hey, he's done. Take him out. Give him some oxygen. Give him some water. Give him some Gatorade. Give him some Pedialyte. I'm just saying.
We'll put you at goalie.
Now, goalie I could do. Goalie I could do. I would be terrible at being a goalie, but I could do it. That's just crazy. I can't imagine $200 million for 1 year. Jesus. That's more than 1 year of total roster salary for a baseball team.
Yeah.
No, you'd make it on the field. We'd throw you in at goalie, but at 4'5", I don't know how effective you would be, but it's not your fault. But who cares? Just give me the money. Let me go.
I'll set the bench.
Set the bench? Hell, man, I'll give out the water. You look parched. But crazy times we live in, man. Crazy times, man. Gonzo, how we looking, man? You ready to roll out?
Yeah, let's get the final thoughts.
God, my father. Okay.
It's almost 20. Yeah, it's 20 after.
Because I'm about to say, I know you got your sports betting show coming up in literally a few seconds. He said, hey, 411.
He said, hey, 411.
He said, hey, 4. He said 4. Well, okay, I'm sorry. I shorted you 10 inches. You know, God shorted me 4.5 inches. But it is what it is. Hey, man, final thoughts. Number one, man, hey, tune in tomorrow night, man. Hey, we got a great show unscripted. Your boy Gonzo will be there in full effect. Secondly, final thoughts for me, though. Mike, you put up a good fight, made some good points. And, man, what a time to be alive when you get $200 million. Verlander, you did good for the Astros. I love you. I appreciate all you did for our team. And I'm really happy that you're moving on to a team that really has no bearing or weight on the Astros next season. So thank God. Beyond that, man, hey, man, what a hell of fight sports. What we got tonight on Tap Console? Who's got the Monday night game? Tampa. Tampa's playing who? Who's Tampa playing tonight?
The Saints.
Go Tampa, go Saints. Gonzo, I play you next week. And I'm a little bit nervous because you got a pretty decent lineup, and my lineup is a little banged up. So go easy. I'm trying to make it in the playoffs. You're already there. Matter of fact, if you could just take your whole squad out, just leave a whole bunch of empty spaces, much love.
I even looked to see how I done yesterday, to be honest with you.
Well, you did better than Jay.
I know I lost in well, it looks like I'm gonna lose in our league unless Tom Brady and Evans goes off tonight for me, but all right. Let's see. Today's Monday, so we got easy money coming up here in a few minutes. Horseshoe talk at 6. Then at 7, we got a big interview with Marcus Fine. Will be back on the GWR with us tonight at 7 o'clock tonight. And then also got Gonzo and the judge. So let's do 4 more. Busy day today. And then we'll be back tomorrow with the baseball show. And then we'll also be on afternoon show. Like Jay said, I have unscripted. So the next couple of days is going to be a lot of shows. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. At Gonzo Sports Room, at the All Sports All Plays, at Unscripted. All of us would appreciate it. You got anything else, Jay?
No, hey, just the last thing I want to put out is hey, if you want to check out Unscripted for any sports updates, again, this all goes through All Sports, All Plays, the whole 9. Check out Unscripted on TikTok. You can find us if you type in Unscripted Sports, all one word, Unscripted Sports, no spaces, Unscripted Sports on TikTok. You'll find us there. And if you go over to Twitter, you can find us at Unscripted Guys, all one word, no spaces, just Unscripted Guys. And you'll pull up all of our content over there as well as YouTube. If you go to YouTube, it's just Unscripted with the date of the show you want to see. You can find us there, man. Until next time, man, that's your boy Jay.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern for another episode of that ASAP Afternoon Blitz. Hope everybody has a great Monday. See you tomorrow.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.